If you're tired of endlessly setting goals for yourself that you never achieve or see the end of, then this video is for you. I'm going to share with you a 5-step system to create some 90-day goals that are going to allow you to achieve everything you want to in a manageable, systematic way. By setting these goals, you're going to finish the year in a completely different place and have achieved 3 different goals that you didn't think possible. In this video, I'm going to break down why 90-day goals are so effective. I'll break down my 3 autumn goals and the actions that I'm going to take to achieve them. And we'll talk about the one thing that is going to increase your chances of success by 50%. Okay, hello. Welcome to this very autumnal home setup. I feel like I've finally cracked it. I've been trying to get the optimum setup for filming at home for a while, and I don't know, with the light and the plants, got a cup of tea, got my beanbag. I feel like it finally works, so that's exciting. If you want a little cup of tea as well, go and grab one. So why are we setting 90-day goals rather than a month goal or a year goal? Why 90 days? For me, I think this is the perfect length of time for you to actually make a genuine impact or a genuine change, but it's not so long that it feels an arbitrary deadline. It feels like, oh, I can always do it next week, I can always do it next month because the deadline's so far in the future. It makes it real, but it still gives you that time to live out the rest of your life, for it not to be an all-consuming goal that you have to do immediately. And yeah, for me, this is just a really nice balance. I also love that it sort of matches with the seasons. I'm starting my 90-day goals at the beginning of September. You can start whenever you want, but for me, it's really nice to sort of align with the seasons. And these are also like my autumn goals, just to tie it into the external world and make that sort of match up in that way. To me, that's quite satisfying. I also think it gives you a much clearer focus on what you're working on in this particular season, and it sort of removes that decision fatigue where you might sit down and think, okay, I'm going to work on this particular goal. Within a week, you've sort of lost sight of why that was important to you and moved on to the next thing. Like, it gives you a nice block of time in which to work on something. And I know that so many people, myself included, set all these goals at the start of the year. You set your goals for the whole year ahead, and by the time it gets to like now or even earlier in the year, you've completely forgotten what it was that you were setting out to do. So I think breaking it down into these smaller chunks is a nice way to keep yourself accountable, to actually make things happen, and you can kind of see it as 4 separate sprints rather than one long marathon throughout the year. So we've got 3 to 4 months left of the year. What do you want to make happen in that time? What is the most important thing that's still left on your list of 2025 goals if you made one? And why do you want to achieve that? That why is going to be a really important piece that we'll come back to later. And I was really sort of in a bit of a rut in the middle of summer because I didn't do any summer goals this year. I didn't set any like targets for myself. I had like a rough goal to sort of implement SEO on my YouTube channel, but I didn't really set out in this systematic way what I wanted. And so I didn't really feel like I was moving forwards. I felt a bit stuck. I felt like there was momentum, but not really a clear direction in which to push it forwards. So that's why I'm sort of shaping this for autumn and giving myself a head start, really, giving myself the clarity and the peace of mind to stop that decision fatigue of working out what it is I need to do. I've just got a clear direction, and that's what this video is all about. So let's dive into my 3 autumn goals. I also have some rocks, which are basically the key actions that I need to take in order to accomplish that goal. I think it's really important to have rocks, especially if your goal is something that feels a little bit out of reach to you at the current moment. Maybe it's something that you've really wanted to do for a long time and there's that sort of inner resistance to making it actually happen. I think rocks are a great way to make it real and to bring that like sense of completion as you go through, as well as just having this like final sense of a milestone. It means you have a clear action to do in a week or a month. Obviously it's completely optional, but I recently bought this, which is the Yop Tom's Power of 3 Goal Planner. It's amazing, honestly. I'm so impressed by the quality. I've had journals from Yop Tom before. This is not sponsored, although that would be nice, wouldn't it? No, it's not sponsored at all, but I'm really impressed by this planner, and it's exactly what I was looking for. So essentially it maps out your year. It maps out 3-month goals for each season. And it's not dated, so if you decide to start it on a random Tuesday, you can do that. Yeah, and then you have like little 1-month planners. You've got some reflection points. I just think it's so well thought out. I would really recommend this because I've done the research and this is the best one. Okay, so what are my autumn goals? I'm very excited about these. I feel like if I achieve all of them, which I hope to, I'm going to finish the year in such a strong way, and that is really exciting to me. So my first one is to land a science communication or climate focused role. I've recently been made redundant, as I feel like I keep saying in every video. This video is not about that, but I'm just really looking for something that I'm excited about, something that is decent enough money to afford the same sort of lifestyle as I have now, and to be taking the next step in my career. I didn't really expect to be in this situation, and I was quite happy to do my 2-year or even 3-year stint at my first job. But yeah, that's not how it's turned out. So I kind of want to use this opportunity to progress. And what I mean by that is not necessarily a salary or anything, but just to gain more experience, get that breadth in what I'm able to do and like the skills that I have. There's a lot hinging on this one, I suppose. My rocks are just firstly to send out applications. I've set myself a target of sending out 25 applications, or unless I'm successful before that. Currently I've sent out like 12, and then if I hit 25 and nothing's happened, maybe I'll set a new target or reevaluate what I want. The second rock is personal brand work, and what I mean by that is posts on LinkedIn or sort of just honing like what I want and thinking about my intentions for my next job. That sort of like inner task and telling people about it. And thirdly, to hone my interview skills. My second goal is more personal, and it's around the theme of autumn, which, like I said, I like to sort of tailor my goals around the seasons, but it doesn't necessarily have to be this specific. But basically, my goal is to explore how I can enjoy autumn and sort of appreciate the qualities of autumn. Basically, I have really loved Maisie Hill's work for years and years, and I'm part of her membership now, and I just love the idea of relating the seasons to our inner world and particularly our menstrual cycle. But essentially autumn is that pre-menstrual season in your cycle where, for me at least, the emotions are heightened. I get a lot more anxious, I feel a bit more out of control, I need a lot more rest, and I just don't enjoy it. I don't enjoy that season at all. I feel a little bit trapped in it. I just sort of don't want to continue that pattern. I want to learn to embrace the autumn season and to see the qualities in it, because the way I think about it is in quite a negative light, but there's nothing objectively negative about it. The other day I was reading the letter loop that my friends and I do, and one of the questions was, what's your favourite season? And mine is like spring, without a doubt. I love summer as well. And I just can't fathom enjoying autumn as like the best season, or winter is the best season. But like a few of my friends said that autumn or winter was their favourite season. And I'm just like, this is crazy. It's crazy to me, because autumn is just that one that I dread, and I don't like when it gets darker. I don't like the cold, I don't like the rain, and that's sort of how it feels in my internal world as well sometimes. And I just would love to explore how I can use that season for my advantage, and there are like many advantages, such as being more in tune with how I'm feeling, allowing myself to rest. And I suppose some of my rocks for this are to try to rest more and to like lean into that opportunity to rest, and to see if I notice anything different about my emotions throughout the month. I think this is going to be an interesting goal. And my third goal is to post consistently on YouTube. There's sort of an external goal of reaching 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year. If you can help me out with that by subscribing, if you think this video has added value to your life, then I would love that. But I like to make sure that my goals are something that I can actually achieve. And while the number of subscribers is sort of within my control based on my actions, it's not fully in my control. So yeah, my main goal is to post at least one video every week the next 3 months. And I was sort of looking for a framework or a system to follow to make this easier for myself, because I think that's what holds me back in creating consistently, is other things come up and suddenly it's the day before I'm meant to be posting the video and haven't got anything, and just sort of getting carried away because I don't really have a clear system. And I discovered April Alta's 90-day YouTube challenge. So I'm committing to doing that, which is a little bit scary because part of it involves doing a 4-week sprint of twice your frequency of videos. So for me, that would be 2 videos a week for 4 weeks, which is crazy, and I've never done that before. I struggle to do 1 video every week, to be honest. I sort of average around like 3 a month, but I really want to get consistent, and I know that that's like the next thing that is a barrier to me growing my YouTube channel, is the consistency piece, because I'm not that consistent. I'm like getting there, but I want to really commit to this and sort out the system. I don't really have any excuses at the moment because I don't have any work responsibilities, so this is the perfect time for this goal. And my rocks for this are to prioritize weekly videos. Even if there's other things that come up, I'm going to prioritize weekly videos. I'm going to create a system that works for me using April's challenge as well. And I suppose my third rock is to continue implementing the SEO changes that I've been making over the last like 3 months over the summer. I've learned a lot about SEO. Those are my 3 rocks, and that's my final autumn goal. I'm sticking to 3. I don't want to overcomplicate it. I think I've got a nice mix of career, personal, and like creative projects / hobbies. So yeah, to me it feels quite balanced, and I'm so excited. I'll give you a update of where I'm at in 3 months' time. I would recommend this journal, and yeah, I'm very excited about that. Okay, so for your own goal setting, I have a few little journal prompts, things to get you thinking about what your goals for the next 90 days are going to be. Firstly, which area of your life is the strongest and most compelling to you at the moment? What are you thinking about when you wake up in the morning and before you go to bed? What's that thing that you're really happy with at the moment and you want to give that extra time to? This is sort of a way of identifying your strengths, because the advice that I've been receiving recently is that rather than focusing on your weaknesses and trying to like iron out any sort of cracks in your armor, so to speak, it's way more effective to focus on your strengths. So this prompt is all about figuring out what your strengths are, and that can be something that you're really good at or just something that you're really interested in at the moment, because these 90-day goals, it's quite a short time frame in the grand scheme of things. That 90 days is going to go by quicker than you think. And so if you can leverage what you're most interested in or what you're most inspired by at this sort of phase of your life, I think that sets you up for success. Use that intrinsic pull to your advantage and focus on what your strengths are. Equally, the thing that's on your mind a lot might be something that you feel is really lacking at the moment, and is something that you still have this sort of intrinsic pull towards and you still have that strong feeling towards, but it's in more of a negative light. It's more of a, I really feel that this is something that's lacking and something that I need to draw attention to at this phase of life. And equally, that's a great approach to take, I think, if you're maybe feeling a bit stuck in your job, or you're feeling like you really need a change in some sort of aspect. Maybe you haven't been exercising very much and you feel that you really want to work on your health and your fitness because you're feeling a bit stagnant. Amazing, like use that also to your advantage, because whatever you have a strong emotional pull towards is what's going to be motivating to you. Use that, work with it for these 90 days, and I think you'll make your life a lot easier. Another thing that can be quite motivating is thinking about the version of your future self that you want to be by the end of the year. Who do you want to start 2026 as? Thinking about your future self, whether it's the person you want to be in a few months' time or the person you want to be in 5 years' time, and sort of working backwards from that. I think for me at least, that's like a really motivating way to take action, because it makes it real, makes it something that's tangible, and again, there's that emotional connection to it. The most important thing is just to pick goals that are resonating with you, not just things that you think other people will appreciate or things that you see other people doing. Pick something that you care about, because that's going to greatly increase your chances of success and is so important. Why spend your life doing something or chasing something purely for other people? Once you've come up with your 3 90-day goals, write them down. So there's some research that shows that people who write their goals down are 42% more likely to achieve their goals. And on top of that, people who tell other people about their goals are 50% more likely to achieve their goals. So even if you don't want to tell anyone else, fair enough, you don't have to, but write them down. Like, that is the bare minimum. You're setting yourself up for way more chances of success if you write your goals down using a planner, using a scrapbook of paper, put them on your phone, set them as your lock screen, whatever you want. And that way you're going to set yourself up for success. But something else that I want to talk about, which is sort of leading on from the idea of sharing your goals with other people is this idea of building in public and sharing the process of you achieving something with other people. It's not a natural thing for me. I'm quite a private person. I'm quite an introverted person, which I know like seems counterintuitive when I'm actually sat here talking to a camera. But I think that there's immense value in building a sense of what you want and showing the process of how you're getting from where you are to where you want to be. And I'm really inspired by people like Grace Andrews, for example, who built the whole Diary of a CEO sort of like marketing strategy. She was there for 5 years. She's the one that took it from like a small podcast to one of the top podcasts in the world. And I think she's so cool. She's now left the Diary of a CEO and she's sort of documenting her whole process via YouTube videos. She's also been like building this for the last 5 years on her other channels and like LinkedIn and stuff. And I just think it's such an interesting way to shape your career, because at the end of the day, if no one knows what you want, no one's going to be able to help you get there. Whereas if you're sort of building in public and you're showing people what you're doing, they're able to help you, and you also expand your surface area for serendipity. This is a concept that Ali Abdaal has spoken about before, and Jaded Jade as well. It's this idea that by sharing what you want or sharing what you're doing, you expand the surface area for unexpected things coming to you. And that's like one of the main reasons why I'm really drawn to YouTube and like creating videos like this, because you just never know who's watching. You really never know who's watching. And that's so powerful. I think it makes you a lot more human as well, rather than just sharing the end results. If you can share the like messy middle, share the process of how you're doing it, your failures, as well as like the final finished product, I think it makes for so much more of a human process. And I don't know, like personally at the moment, I am seeing all these sort of AI created videos and I just think it's really scary. Maybe that's just me being like a bit fearful of AI, but I don't know, it's a weird one, and I don't want us to lose this sort of humanity. And even though I'm speaking to a camera right now, imagining someone on the other end of it is quite a connective thing. I just want to document what I'm doing and show the process for 2 reasons: to help other people feel less alone, and for like increasing that surface area for things happening. Because if you never tell anyone, no one's ever gonna know. Okay, so the 5 key steps that you need to follow if you want to end 2025 in the best way possible and achieve everything you want to in the next 90 days. Firstly, use the 90-day framework. Set yourself 90 days to achieve it. This is the perfect amount of time to actually create change and to not let those deadlines slip away into the future. Second, pick a maximum of 3 goals and a maximum of 3 rocks for each of those goals. Rocks are the actions that are gonna enable you to achieve that goal in your certain time frame. 3, think about what is resonating most with you at this season or phase of your life and leverage what you feel most strongly called to make sure that you're optimizing for success. 4, write them down. You're 42% more likely to achieve your goals if you write them down. So do yourself a favor and write them down. And 5th, I suppose this is optional, but share your goals with other people. Even if it's just leaving a comment at the bottom of this video, I would love to hear what your 3 90-day goals are. I will be sure to reply to your comment and we can keep each other accountable in that way. Okay, that's everything I have for you this week. I really hope you've enjoyed it. Like I said, leave me a comment with your 3 90-day goals down below. And if you want another little dose of clarity and confidence, then you can check out this video, which is going to take you to a video about finding your purpose. I think it complements this one quite nicely. Or you can go and check out this one, which is sort of from quite a while ago. I'm literally in the same outfit in that video, but anyway. And I'm talking about how you can use journaling to figure out your core values and let that shape what you want to do with your time. Feel free to subscribe if you thought this video added value to your life, and come back next week for another weekly dose of clarity and confidence. Bye.